Advanced Studio Concepts Production presents the SelfMade Talk Show, featuring April Richardson, Quinata Pruitt, John Hogan, Mike Wilson. The Self-Made Talk Show starts right now.
Welcome to the Self-Made Talk Show, and thank you for tuning in. So how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good.
Me too. I'm doing well. The weather is nice today.
Yes.
Right?
It's not bipolar anymore.
Well, you know what? I don't know. I think it's supposed to rain again at the end of this week.
As long as it's not freezing. I'm tired of this freezing stuff, man.
I'm ready for the sunshine.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the rain.
I am too.
Just 1 minute it's just nice and sunny and just perfect outside, then the next day it's just rain.
You can't make plans. Like,
Yeah, with the
if
rain.
Right. If you make outdoor plans, you just never know. Like today it'll be good, and then actually the past 2 days it started off good, and then but it started to look a little bit like it might rain.
Here comes the rain.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Especially with this being an outdoorsy type town. It's just, ooh.
Yeah.
Get out.
And you know what? We actually, so I'm from Ohio, and I was actually shocked this year, and I'm hoping this just means it's going to be a really hot summer. It snowed this year.
Yes.
I feel like the snow followed me because everyone kept telling me, "Oh no, no snow, you won't get snow here."
It snows here. 1 year when I was younger, it snowed like maybe 4 or 5 feet. And that was the best year ever. We were all on the highways, sliding down the highways on trash can tops, and everybody was out of school, and all the kids came together in the neighborhood, and we get at the top of Sparkman and just slide all the way down.
Listen, when you're from Ohio and it snows every year and it never wants to stop, no.
We don't get
cringe.
that every year, so any little bit of snow that we can get here, we love it.
See, it's like a day or two before our snow, and then like it goes away after that. So
Our snow will last a couple months.
Yeah, see,
They're more equipped. Y'all got tractors and salt, so
Winter.
y'all can function down here.
Yeah.
Shut down.
everything
Shut
shut
down.
down. It's like a
It's
free
right.
day. It's like
It's
give you a
like a
day.
vacation.
Shut down.
Vacation.
Right.
And if you got a good job, paid vacation because they pay you for it.
Look at y'all. Look at y'all. No, they wouldn't shut us down for nothing. Like, it's 5 inches? Okay, come on to work.
That's right. I made it in. You can make it
My
in.
biggest thing would be driving in it. I don't drive when it's raining at all. It's like that's just my fear. So snow, ice, definitely not.
No, so okay. I don't mind driving in it in Ohio because we know how to drive in it. Driving in it here, girl. Or when it snowed, I actually was coming from our videographer's house this year when it snowed, and I mean, people, they drive in it like you think they would drive scary, right? Like they'd be scared. No, they drive in it like they know how to drive in it, but they don't know how to drive in it. I'm sorry, Alabama.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about the South, everybody thinks 4x4 means I can drive through anything.
Yeah,
Rain,
right.
sleet,
You know,
snow, and it's
absolutely.
just not
Right.
necessarily. But that's
I don't
the
do any
South.
driving anyway, especially when the weather's bad. I sit at home because sister don't need her insurance going on. So, with that being said, the unemployment.
Okay.
They extended the unemployment.
Yes, absolutely. So
Yes.
for those of us, anyone who's getting your unemployment, you got your stimulus, now getting that, what do you say?
Child tax credit.
Child tax credit, and then
Yes.
was it one up
The stimulus up payment.
payment?
Yes.
I mean,
It's time for everybody to
with
come
that
up.
being said, I feel like, what are you doing with your stimulus? What are you doing with this extra money? Are you pocketing it? Are you investing? Are you creating an additional income? Because, I mean, we're going to get the money and you could just spend it and then be right back at square one. Or you could take the money and you know what, however you choose, it's your choice. Or you could take the money and you can invest. Whether you're investing in some type of financial, whether it's stocks, Forex, any of that. But make sure if you're investing, you know what you're doing.
Yes.
Or you're deciding to start a business. If you're starting to invest in a business, in some kind of way, take the money and
Use
put
it
yourself in a
yourself.
better
Yeah.
situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the money is only going to last. I seen a post
For
on
so
Facebook.
long. It's only gonna last for so long.
I saw a post on Facebook where this guy had put, he said, so some of us get money all the time, so don't start cutting people off. Like, just because you got to sell something. You know, I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying, like, invest in yourself. Like, invest in a business. Invest in something. You can do something
Keep
to
that
build
money going, because once it stops, it stops.
It stops.
Yes.
Like, they're only going to do this for so long. So, with that being said, we're talking about business, right?
Right.
I want to talk about business etiquette.
Okay.
So, I always got to throw out there that I'm a business coach. A-Rich Innovations, I'm a business coach. So, with being a business coach, I realize, and I'm going to just pick on myself, that sometimes we do certain things that offend people without the intentions of offending people, right?
Yes.
So now everything's digital. So we text all the time. I mean, I literally text my clients all the time. We email all the time. We don't always pick up the phone and talk to people. So a client of mine may send me a message, and then when they send it, and I realized I did this the other day, I said, okay, got it, thumbs up. And when I thought about it afterwards, right, when I thought about it,
that good business etiquette?
when I thought about it afterwards, I was like, so to some people in my mind, I was like, oh, got you, girl, I got you. But then some people think that, got it. You said thumbs up. And for me, honestly, thumbs up is not necessarily, I'm thinking like people being smart when they do a thumbs up. So we have to be considerate when we're making,
how others feel.
right, when we're making,
yeah, go ahead.
when we're making decisions on how we respond to things. Business etiquette is important, and a lot of times we don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you can come off as cocky or, mean girl. Yeah.
Trying to push somebody off, like for instance, email, all caps.
Right. And I think
That's
what.
cussing.
Wait, that's definitely hollering at somebody or screaming at somebody.
But if you didn't know business etiquette, then you wouldn't know that.
You
Right.
would have just having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just having a conversation. Like, even something as simple as the capital letter, everything else lowercase with the exclamation mark. That is assumed as you're exclaiming something aggressively.
Yeah.
Right.
When really,
Excited,
or excited, depending on what the conversation is. Like, I know for me, I have a lady who's writing a book, and I'm like, I'm so excited!
Right.
Exclamation
Right.
mark. But something like, got it! Exclamation mark may come off as
smart.
All right, I'm yelling
Don't tell
at
me
you.
again.
I got it already.
I
got it.
Right.
All about the way you
It's
way
all
you
about
read it.
And
It's
I
always
have a
all about the
relationship
way
with
you
that person. Like that
Yeah.
person, if you have a
Yeah.
developed relationship, then I think the thumbs up, that might have went off well. But if
Right.
I just met you 2 days ago, we're trying to start a business, thumbs up.
It just depends on the
Well, because
it depends on how
partially,
you will feel.
especially if you didn't say anything before the thumbs up. So
Right.
if you just say, hey, can you send me this, and I just put thumbs up,
Right.
why couldn't you just say okay? Like, you got it,
or
10-4.
if you I'm getting on your nerve.
Right, exactly.
Bothering you now?
It
Yeah,
does.
so
It can.
so-
It can. And not intentionally. It
Right.
can come off to be something that it's really
That
not.
is
So
So,
with that being said, you guys, we gotta make sure that we keep good business etiquette.
Oh, most definitely.
Always.
yeah.
Most
Because you
definitely.
cannot grow your business with bad reviews.
So let me ask you guys a question. And this is because most of my social media is, I post business. So if you post something on your Facebook or your Instagram and someone corrects you and says, hey, you said there instead of there, like THIE or THEIR instead of THERE.
Yes.
Like, does that bother you guys?
It does bother me.
Does
It
it?
doesn't
It
bother
It
me.
depends. If I'm in a good mood, nah, alright, so.
It
yeah,
doesn't
I
bother
wouldn't
me unless the
respond.
person is trying to be smart.
Exactly.
If the
Yes,
person is
there
trying
you
to
go,
be
there you
smart,
go, yeah.
then I'll come back with something smart, you know.
So I have a friend
Goes
of
both
mine
ways.
who does this, but in her defense, she actually does do it like being positive. She's like, well, I just feel like if you post it one way and it's wrong, I don't want anyone else to look at you like, oh, she don't know which there or which 2 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you may just be typing real fast and that's just the one.
Well, I
And
think
sometimes that auto type will put a word that you didn't type,
Right.
and you be
Right.
typing and you know what you typed, but when you look down after you done sent it, it's done said something else.
Right,
So
and I think it should be a little bit more leeway in the social, like Facebook and things,
Yeah,
compared to
social
doing
media.
A
email,
paper. This
or
is not a
email,
paper.
right?
Yeah.
Or something that's what we consider
Not in
business.
English class.
Right, right.
Nowadays, though, you guys know social media is an image, right? So with
Yeah.
it being an image, they expect, oh, you look like you got this and this and this. You can't even spell. When really, it's not necessarily that all the time. Sometimes just literally, I type really fast, and which for her, because I know her heart, if she types me and says, "Hey, you missed something," I'm like, "Okay, I got you. I'm gonna fix it." But sometimes, you know, it can come off. But then I guess I can see both sides.
That's kind of smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it can.
Like, don't correct me.
I can remember
I know
one
what I
time.
meant. I know what I meant. Just read it.
I can remember one time where I had done something for you and you shot it back and was like, "Hey, proofread this before you," and I was like, "Oh, okay, my bad. Next time I will though." But I didn't make that mistake anymore.
Right.
So
And that was really out of love.
yeah, because you wanted me to succeed.
Well, so it is important to remember business etiquette when you're doing something, when you're working, especially in business, in social media and emailing.
Right.
That being the case, I'm going to go ahead and take us to a commercial break, and we will see you back after these messages.
I would like to welcome everybody back to the SelfMade Talk Show. And guys, I was looking at the internet the other day, and I found a business that was worth about $2 billion 10 years ago. It's worth $11 billion now, and it's projected to be $50 billion in about 10 to 15 years.
So, you know, I need to know what type of business.
You already know. Everybody knows it's marijuana.
Right. Yeah,
No,
it makes sense.
It is
Yeah.
ridiculously one of the most popular businesses right now. So when you like go to like 420 things, or people that smoke a lot, they have 420, which is the national holiday for smoking marijuana.
Right.
And you think of a consumer, people that just going to smoke, potheads and things like that. But now when they have these conventions, they actually have investors coming.
Most definitely.
So you got people looking to invest in marijuana, and it's not even legal yet on a federal level. So my question is, how do y'all figure it's going to be? How is it profitable for states and things, but it's technically not legal? It's interesting. But what they do is they have two markets. They have a black market and a federal market, and that's how people are able to, because the federal really doesn't crack hold on it, they are able to allow people to start dispensaries and places that aren't illegal or that are decriminalized, and they won't come after you. So it's a very lucrative industry. But I always figured, what do y'all think about how people can get on board with it? Because I was like, okay, if it's a $50 billion industry, we need to get in this as a minority. But when I looked at it, there's hardly no minorities in it.
I do have a question though. I guess, I mean, and no one may have the answer, but I guess just a question in my mind. So for a state like Nevada, Las Vegas, where it's legal across the board, is there still even a possible way to sell it legally?
Technically, no. But this is what's going on. It's legal statewide.
Right.
It's not legal federally. So at any given moment, the feds can come in there, even though your state is legal to sell, legal to smoke, recreation, they can come in and sit you down. But they don't mind because they're making so much money off the taxes that they don't care.
So let me ask you this. If they come in and shut you down, can they seize all of your money in your
They can take it all. But see, this is the kicker. It's not federal, so most of your money's in cash. So you can't say, I don't know what my money is, I don't have no money.
Yeah.
I was living day to day trying to survive, and y'all see that they can't prove it. There's no paper trail, no banks are going to take your money. How people are getting over with it is, okay, we're going to run and hope we don't get shut down. If we get shut down, hopefully we got enough money to start another one or to move on to something else or to wait till it's legalized. But what happens is, because it's a non-federal banking, you have to do everything with cash. So people that have dispensaries, they take their cash at the end of the day. They pay their employees with cash. Instead of taking their earnings to a bank, they take it. They hire a security deposit or somebody like an armored truck to carry their thing and the marijuana because they grow it or they have to get delivered there.
Yeah.
So they hire it.
So
Everything
it's a big
is private.
security risk.
And they have to pay taxes to the federal government, although the federal government is not helping them at all. It's like, okay, you can do it and you can make whatever you make, but you're gonna pay us 65 to 85% in taxes. So look how much money is being made. If I'm paying the government 65 to 8% of my money out of $1 million, you're getting $650,000, $800,000 per million. I'm only making $200,000.
And nothing's coming back to the state.
Nothing's coming back to the state. It's all going. So we don't know what they're doing with their federal money, and nothing's going to your school system. Nothing's going to your roads. Nothing's going to your Medicaid or Medicare or whatever they're helping. Your state's helping out with the elderly.
So even the states that are legal, it's not going to the state?
It all goes federal. It all goes federal because technically it's not legal through the state. So it's
I
crazy.
learned something today.
But now this is what happens. Check this out. So that's the independent market. So what the states do to get it to go to the state is they open up their own dispensaries.
Gotcha.
And the state puts a tax on it. So if I have a black market, let's say if he was getting an eighth on in an illegal or black market dispensary can go from anywhere from $15 to $30 for an eighth. If I also get it through a legal federalized dispensary, which are in California, Colorado, they're gonna put a tax on it. Mm-hmm. So an eighth goes jumping from now $15 to $35, from now $35 to $60.
Gotcha.
Depending on the grade and so forth and so on. So what your $35 eighth, if without the tax, it's gonna be $60 with the tax. Because the state has to make they're not gonna pay no 50% tax. So I'm gonna throw it on the people, the consumer, and that's how they make their money. So, but they're trying to figure out a way, and it's killing the smaller market because a lot of these states started it to actually help small people start a business and to do that. But with so many rules and regulations that the federal imply that you have to keep changing up and keep updating, and that the average person can't keep up with it, and then have to go to court. And while it's in court, you can't do nothing until they pass it. So people with money can stay in court and their litigation won't bother them. Their money's not being, but somebody that put all my own investment into, you need to pay this thing, I'm struggling, and then that's okay, well, I'm gonna sell it to the black market. Unfortunately, I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. So they sell it to the black market and hope they don't get busted by the federal to survive until it becomes legal to where they can do it the legal way of doing it. But it's good money, man. It's good money.
It sounds like
it's
a good business plan, but
it is. And see, Alabama Alabama's not going to legalize. They just now legalized
medical,
and it's not even medical. It's literally like, see, the medical is another slip. It's another avenue to the kind of doing it. But Alabama does it strictly for. It's kind of medical, but it's literally no THC in it. It's they have literally it has to be less than 0.3 grams, 0.3 milligrams.
Yeah,
of
but
THC.
that's CBD.
That's CBD.
That's CBD, and that's all they're legal for. They're not even legal for marijuana, which is marijuana without the THC.
So let me get this right. So when they passed the medical marijuana, it was only for CBD.
That's CBD.
It wasn't
that's
for
right.
the THC.
And see, that's right. It's different levels per state. So when you say medical, you can't just say medical marijuana. You have to look at the state and see how they classify medical marijuana. So if you get caught in Alabama, I don't care if it says medical marijuana or recreational marijuana. If it's anything more than that 0.3, you're going to jail. And then here it's still possession charge is still a misdemeanor, a year, $6,000 up to, and a felony is 2 years, $35,000.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what's the difference then with the CBD? What is that?
The CBD is technically, I guess, if you have pain, like if you get nausea or you can't sleep or you have headaches, it's supposedly to help with that without getting you high. That's supposedly the medical benefit. The high is like a bonus. So it's healing you, but you get a high with it. Right. But what they're trying to do now is extract the highness and just give you the actual medical benefit. And they're doing that with like pills. They call it micro organized. They give you like a small capsule. And it's like 0.3 to 0.9 THC of that in there. And the average joint is like 0.35, and the edible can be up to 1,000 milligrams. So it's, they have to really watch. So people say, I'll just do an edible. Content. Yeah, but your edible can actually have more content. You can be actually more higher or more out of mind than I am smoking a blunt or something. If you took an edible, you're actually gone.
I know that's an experience.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, I believe
so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my, this is a past. But no, I had, for the first time I don't want to say the first time, but years back, I had done weed, and I have a high tolerance for everything. For alcohol, for pills, for everything. And when I say pills, I'm talking about Tylenol, ibuprofen, that kind of thing, right? And so I would smoke, and I wouldn't feel it. So I was just like, it doesn't do anything to me. It makes no sense for me to do it. I remember one time I was given an edible, and I took it. After about 30 minutes, I was like, I don't feel anything. And then after about an hour, I was so messed up. I was like, oh my God. Never again. I was to the point, I'm looking up, can you die from...
See, that just means you were high. Your heart beats faster. Oh my God, I had a heart attack.
So fair.
Exactly. Paranoid. Police outside. All of that.
That was my God. I said, never again. Never again.
Exactly. It's almost like when you're doing stuff like that, it's almost like alcohol. You have to wait to see how your body responds.
Right.
Because so when you're smoking it, it's almost like an injection. It hits your lungs and your respiratory system, your nervous system almost immediately through the smoke and the inhalation in the blood system and the oxygen in your blood. But when you ingest it, it has to be broken down into your blood system. So it could take a little bit more time for your body to recognize.
That's why my good old tequila is my choice, because I know how it's going to affect me.
But so it's it's just an awesome thing to look into, and I thought it would be beneficial for those that are looking to upstart. But in Alabama, if you live here, unfortunately, you can't start.
You can't
There
start
is
anything.
no the way to
Yes.
even to get your CBD, you can have an application, but they're not even taking applications for that. I looked at it and I said, okay, what if I want to start a CBD to get started and have everything going so when they legalize it, I can transfer?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
They're only
They're
letting
they're not even taking no applications. They only took certain people, and then now they're not taking no applications. And then to actually get the list, it's like a bill of like 45 pages of the things you need to do, like a checklist. And to get that is like $300 to $400 just to get the list.
The only
the
people
application
that they
itself.
really did grant the research and to be able to do that were most of the schools.
Wow.
Like Alabama.
Oh, like Tuskegee, agricultural schools?
Yeah, the agriculture schools were the ones that got grants and things, money, and,
And that's
as long
smart.
as they used their land, they got
To furnish,
grants,
yeah.
to grow the CBD and things.
And
So
Kay Ivey.
that's the only people that I really heard of.
She passed it.
that.
Governor Kay Ivey passed it.
Well,
It's a
I
lot.
hope it
It's a
doesn't be
lot, and
like
it's-
the lottery.
It's you got to do loopholes like they got things to where you can actually trace the weed where it's being grown from. Like the federal government's not playing. Oh, bro, they know exactly how much you grow, who you selling it to, and how much they're supposed to have when they sell it.
Oh man.
They actually have like it's not
They're
like
on top
DNA
of
tracking,
it.
but they have tracking in it.
Yeah.
It's you go down that rabbit hole, you start feeling a lot, and I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta talk about this on the show. So it was crazy, man. It was crazy, but yeah, it was great.
Well, that can bring me into my next thing. So, like, as far as like weddings and as far as like your dream wedding, I heard they do have like cannabis weddings too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, where they have like a cannabis wedding cake,
That's
and then
right.
like as far as
That's right.
like everything is themed for cannabis.
That's right.
So,
Are you serious?
You would be
oh
surprised.
yeah, you'll be surprised.
Oh, by the way, we will not be doing that.
I mean, I thought I was just throw that out there, but obviously no, we
I'm gonna
can't
have
do
to check that out, dog.
But I mean, we can look into that, you know. But as far as like the dream wedding, like where do y'all, how do y'all see y'all dream wedding?
Hey, ladies.
I've always wanted a big wedding, like a big wedding. Extravagant. When I say big, I don't even think of a lot of people because y'all know I'm an introvert, so I don't really connect with a lot of people. But when it comes to like, it's like, well, I want a beach wedding. I want a big, pretty designer dress, and I want it to be designed. I don't want to go to the store and pick out a dress that somebody else may have
You
wore.
want it, yeah.
I want it to be
Only dress,
designed.
this my dress. Nobody got my
Absolutely,
dress on my
absolutely.
day.
Like,
Understood.
I want a big, pretty wedding. I want something I can go back into the pictures and be like, yep, there we go. Like, that's my. So that's just me. What
I
about
want
you?
to come into America wedding. Big, extravagant, luxurious. I want it all. I want it all. I want the dancers. I want it all.
Dancers?
I want the dancers.
You want the
I want it all.
Coming to America
I want the
wedding.
coming to America wedding. I want it all. I want it all.
I was at a India wedding and they did that. They had to go through. She got married and she had like the elephants brought her in and the guys with the swords and all
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
nice.
And they was doing the carrying her. She went to the park with the bride and groom to the front of the table to eat the food and they carried her and the groom was walking beside. It was tight and they were doing all that. It was extravagant. So I was like, it was
See, me it don't
weddings.
matter. I just want a good wedding
Beautiful.
for my wife. She wants whatever she wants. Have it. I mean, I'm just want to walk down the aisle.
I'm
good.
on that same
That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
But I do want to get her to provide everything that she wants. I
Yeah.
don't want her to say down the line, I wish I would have had this.
Yeah.
I want all that nipped in the bud, and I want to please her on her day.
Well,
There you
guys,
go.
that is-
I want to
I am
provide the
curious,
best
though.
That
wedding.
is
Yeah.
wonderful.
That being
Yes.
said, because I had someone tell me before, $6,000 is all spent on a wedding. Do you guys have a budget limit?
Whatever we can afford, if not a little bit beyond, maybe. I don't know.
Because remember, most
There's no
cases,
limit as of right now. No.
in most cases, people will say, let's get married tomorrow or in a month. In most cases, they give us a good year, right? So whatever we can spend within a year also remembering after the wedding, we got to live a life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
right.
we still
Absolutely.
got to take care of home. We still got to take care of the kids.
Right.
You know, all that good stuff. So now I'm going to guarantee you my wedding's going to be more than $6,000.
What?
Yes. Hold that thought. We're gonna go out for a commercial and we'll be back.
Welcome back to the SelfMade Talk Show. We're going to go back into what we were just talking about as far as our budgeting. As far as our wedding.
For a wedding.
Yes.
And I said
More than
my
6,000
wedding is going to be more. Actually, it's going to be a minimum 10,000. But I'm saying my max, just because I'm trying to be generous, is 15, right?
You guys support the show.
Well, I'm not married, so let me ask, and I've been coordinating a wedding. Is that a lot of money? Because the dress in itself.
No,
How
it's
much
not
is a dress?
for a wedding.
Not really.
How much is the wedding dress? I heard the things can get up to
All right, so
$1,000.
let me tell you, just from jump, a venue generally is between 5 and 6.
For a dress?
For just a venue.
Just the
That's just the
Oh,
venue.
to rent.
Oh,
That's
just the
not
place.
including the food and the people you gotta feed.
The
That's
cake,
not
right?
including well, not just the cake, but they want to eat food.
No, I said the catering.
Oh, catering, yes.
Catering.
And the catering go by per plate, right?
Our plate
Right.
generally, that's not including the dress. Is usually in between $8,000 and $2,000. Plus, generally, the men will rent their tux if they want to buy their tux. Plus, you got to think of all the arrangements. You got to pay the official. Like it's a big thing. Like some people pay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can just go to the courthouse and then pay about a good $50 to $75.
If you want a memorable wedding. This is like you plan it a year out. You plan it. And then you talk about rings and stuff too.
Would you do a courthouse wedding, and then if you survive 5 to 10 years, would you
10
make it a memorable wedding?
5 to 10.
I say a courthouse wedding, and then you do a year after that, and then do the big wedding. If you survive.
So what if you don't make it?
Right. Within the wedding is. Thank you for not having.
My thought is this: if you're going
That's-
into the wedding
I'm
with
on
the
that
thought
tip.
that I may not make it, you should not get married.
Right.
That's my thought.
Right.
There you
Take
go.
some time.
That's
it.
That's my thought. Like if that's a worry about yours, like, well, let's see if we make it. Then let's just not get married. We probably shouldn't. You just probably shouldn't get married. So in my thought, but I do believe that your budget should be based on your finances because just because I'm saying I want a $15,000 wedding doesn't mean that I feel like, because honestly, that's really not that much when it comes to a wedding. Because weddings can go way further
30,
than that.
40,000.
But at the same time, your household, when you get done with the wedding, you need to be able to
still
take
have
care
to
of your
live.
house.
You still have to
Right. You need
That's
to
why
take
a
care
lot
your kids.
of black people don't have really large, extravagant weddings because they have to live afterwards. So they can't go out and spend $10,000 on a venue, $12,000 on the food.
Which goes back to budgeting, and I'm a business coach, so if you need help budgeting, I'll go ahead and plug that in there real quick.
We going to the church. We grew up here, talking to the church pastor. We're going to use the downstairs multi-purpose room, and that's how it's going to be.
We get married in the backyard, okay? My auntie,
A lot of ways to do that.
my auntie Treese and them is gonna cook the chicken. We got some green beans and some rolls. Everybody's gonna have a plate. We're gonna electric slide in the backyard. We're gonna have a good.
But I know some people with some pretty yards, and you can have a
and
pretty backyard.
it's gonna be under $5,000, so you can't beat that.
A lot of weddings when they generate.
It's not gonna be my wedding, but
backyard weddings and things like that.
Yeah, I've seen some really pretty backyards. Like you can have a pretty backyard wedding, and then some people really like. I know some people they want to spend minimum on the wedding because that's to please the people, and a lot on the honeymoon because that's what you guys are doing together, which is understandable. I mean, I feel like it's to each your own, like however you feel.
I'd rather save all the money, get married at the courthouse, and have a banging honeymoon.
Well, all this talk about marriage.
Fly away. I mean, we can be gone for a whole month. We can be gone for a whole month. We ain't gotta go to one place. We can go to 5 places. We can be in Cairo one day. The next week we can be in Africa. The next week we can be in Venice. The next week we can be Hawaii.
So
wherever
for those
you
of
want
us
to go.
who work and have to come back home.
Well, I mean, you know that goes along with your finances too. You know?
Absolutely.
Self-made. I call my own shots.
Well, all this talk about weddings and marriage and everything like that, that brings us to a movie. So, Coming to America 2 came out. And how do y'all feel about that?
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put this out there real quick. All right, so not that I didn't like it because I felt like, you know, I think if it was made by anybody, I would have probably been like, okay, that's cool. I think because it was Eddie Murphy, I expected, like, it wasn't even better than the first one. Like, you make movies all the time, so I feel like it was really kind of like corny a little bit to me.
It was predictable. I can say the movie was predictable. I knew what was going to happen before it happened. It was just like it's the same storyline basically. So it was predictable, but it was good. It was good. I'm going to tell you what the best part to me is to see everybody 30 years later.
Yeah.
And
That
they
was nice.
Still
That was nice.
got
Yeah.
it. They're
No,
still.
well, no, I didn't. Eddie Murphy did not have it. Girl.
But except the sister and the ex-boyfriend.
Well,
I
those
wanted
are
to
the
see
only
them
two we
too.
didn't see.
But everybody else.
But everybody else we saw, and they still looked.
You know what?
good.
Sadly, not sadly. The dad, he looked better.
Oh,
Yeah.
James.
Yeah, he did.
From Good Times,
He
James.
did.
Yeah.
I mean, not just him, but even I don't know.
Oh, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looked
he
better
looked
than
good.
Eddie Murphy. No
Yeah.
offense to Eddie Murphy. I love Eddie Murphy. We actually were just listening to his song the other day.
I was a king.
No.
No.
My girl likes
To
to
party
party.
on the James combination. Yeah. Yo, y'all laughing. That was a hit. That was number one. Y'all laughing. That was number one on the charts.
Because
See,
of
everybody
that.
say, nah.
We
go back
saw
in.
it.
We saw
We
it.
looked at the video and was like, why did he do it?
Henry James got a gold album for that song.
Because it was them.
Because it was them. I think the names got that song. Because we was listening to the
You already
song.
know.
And we was like, yeah, this song.
I mean, he was into it.
Yeah,
he
he
was
was. Couldn't tell Eddie Murphy nothing.
Nothing. So yeah, so that's my opinion. So I mean, is anybody just like?
So what was your best part of the movie? Did you have a best part? I had a best part. My best part was the funeral scene.
Okay, and the only thing I didn't like about that is that I think it was corny. I just feel like for him to say, "I'm gonna die now," I feel like he should have just died. If that was.
But that was the most awesomest scene.
I love him, though.
If I had to go out, that's how I want to go out. I want to have the biggest party ever and sit back and watch all my family and
Celebrate
friends
life.
celebrate
Yeah,
my life. And if I happen to just
You don't even know
pass
it.
away right then,
No.
I wouldn't even
I
know it.
did
because
love-
I'm celebrating with my family and
Right.
that, you know.
Well, but he knew. He said.
He knew that he was about to die.
I'm
He
gonna die
said, "Now I can die."
No, I don't like that. But you know what? I did like the fact that they brought up women. They did the whole women thing, like as far as like
Everything was
women's
geared
rights
towards women
and
yes,
women being able to
yes.
still do. Like I did love that. I did
Yeah.
love that piece of it. So
Sorry, I didn't like the movie.
I fell asleep
Sorry.
on it. I ain't gonna lie. I did like the way that they tried to tie in the story with him and his Cindy in the clubhouse from 80 years ago. I was like, okay, that's kind of believable. If she would have slipped him a drink, he would have passed out and all
but
that.
Mike, that's one of the
But I
thing is
was
he
like-
remembered it. Like at first he didn't remember it, all of a sudden
But
he
then he-
remembered it.
Okay.
I was like,
See, I thought-
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
remember
yeah,
Okay.
that kind of threw me off. It's like, how
Next
you
time
all
you
of a
see
sudden remember?
Um,
That means it was right because you fell asleep.
Hey,
Come on,
wrong
I
time,
didn't
wrong
know that.
time.
Right.
I should have caught it a little earlier than a little later. You know, doing some other things in between.
And then the woman was still barking.
Yeah. Oh no, she was growling.
Right, that was funny, but that was funny.
That was a funny part.
That was kind of
I
funny.
give it. It does have its funny parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
does
was
have
funny. It was
little
good.
funny
It
parts
was
in
good.
it.
You
Yeah,
can't
that-
say it
Throw
was good.
off.
It
You
was.
cannot hate like that and say that movie.
I
was
wanna
not
ask-
I mean, I
good.
just had
It wasn't
had
good. It
big
wasn't good.
expectations for
Alpha
Eddie.
Mike.
I
knew
had
it
my
wasn't gonna be-
expectations.
Mike,
You know.
how did you feel about Wesley?
I like Wesley. That's all I'm gonna say.
But how did you feel about him
When Wesley
being that?
came in, I was like, okay. To me, this is me. Wesley can act, but with those type parts, it's over
Wrong
the top.
part.
Like it's almost to me, it was
Yeah.
like a Tu Wong Fu. This type thing. He goes
You
like,
get used to the action.
Right, he
Wesley.
goes. He
Yeah.
goes.
Right, so then you
He,
turn
he
into
goes
this.
over the top.
I liked it all. His part was okay.
Yeah,
it could have been
it could've
better,
been better.
but
I don't wanna knock him,
overall,
'cause
the
I'm-
movie.
I-
I would give the movie a 4.
I give it a
Overall, 4 stars.
Out of 5,
Out of 5 stars, I give it
A 4?
Yeah, I give it a 4.
I can only go out of 3. I didn't see the ending. I come back with y'all on the other 2 stars. I don't know. It might go.
I mean,
might stay the
if
same.
0's the worst, I give it a 1. If 1's the worst, I give it a 1.5.
I give it a 1.
That bad?
You guys are horrible critics.
I give it a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, Eddie, you know, we're gonna need some sponsorships. Don't take that. You know, look at our.
So, are you
Yeah.
guys looking forward to the new Sub-Zero, the new Mortal
Oh,
Kombat
I'm so
movie?
ready.
I'm so
Oh
ready for
my
that.
God, I
That's
am
exciting.
ready for that. I
generations and
cannot.
generations
so ready.
and
Get
generations.
Okay, who are you going for?
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero,
Scorpion.
okay.
Get over
here.
Wait, you're going for Scorpio?
Luke Cage,
Yes.
baby.
I'm going for Sub-Zero.
Luke Cage. See,
Scorpio.
95 Luke Cage is untouched. Like
I know,
nobody
I know,
gonna stop.
I
Nobody
can't-
gonna stop. Gonna top.
They're
But how
95
do we
Luke
even know
Cage.
how
Luke
they?
Cage is that's gonna be.
Are they doing it like that?
We'll
Where it's like
see.
a journey of one person or the actual?
I hope he do though. I hope he do. I hope he do.
But it might be somebody else that's the different human.
I don't think
might
you
get out of it.
We'll
I feel
just
like
have to wait and
It's
see.
gonna be.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait.
Gotta wait and see.
because
Gotta
I feel
wait
like
and
it's hard to replace that Luke Kane, especially with who they got now. It just doesn't look like that's going to be.
The storyline.
It just looked like they took him off the game and put him in the movie. Like,
Honestly,
he's looking
even the
just
Raiden,
like
even
it.
the Raiden, like I'm big on the original
Yeah,
Raiden.
I
Yeah.
love.
And then they made him so sorry in the second one. Like,
Right.
Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
And I don't-
give me a good rating.
The game has changed so much from our generation and from what we seen at the 95 rating and all that stuff
Yeah.
to now these kids might even not know,
Know him as
that
who
they know
he
the game
was.
today. I don't know what the game looks like today.
Right.
And I'm quite sure it might look like somebody totally
Because
different.
Raiden was like, you knew when he
When
did
they-
it,
when
when
they
he
joined,
lit his
that's
eyes,
it.
you
You
better.
knew who
Right.
he
But
was.
then
The
the second
girl
one,
with the hat, it was
Right.
on.
Oh, yeah, the
It
hat.
was on. You knew that was Raiden,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Now it's like, well, I mean, but they even added to what is his name? Kano's. What's his name? Kano. Is that the
Kano?
one?
Yeah,
they
Kano.
added to his part.
Okay.
Because they actually, before he was just, I don't know, he was kind of sorry in the first one.
Yeah.
But they've
Yeah.
actually
He
made
didn't have
him
a lot
as
of features.
Right.
Right.
Well, with that being said, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a commercial break, and we will see you guys back after these messages.